would you say to someone who's maybe afraid of being vulnerable and sharing their own stories?
Yeah, so originally we were afraid because my father's case is ongoing. So, the fear was that, let's say, like, this gets, really big, and like what's going to happen to my father's case. So that was the fear. But I told myself and I told my parents, you know what? At the end of the day, if we don't share what's going on, other families that are going what we're going through are going to think they're alone. And that's why I feel that it's important. I get it. It's scary to share your story because you don't know the outcome. You don't know what people could say. But instead of listening to that, what would they say? Listen to that. What would the impact be? For example, like if you think about Anne Frank, that's what the director Mike Berry one day he told me. He's like, Anne Frank, like she literally wrote all of her, her story in a journal, and now we know from it. Now we know what she's been through. Now we know how she, went through it and everything. Now imagine if everyone else that was with her had written their side of the story. Like we would have known more stories, we would have known more experiences, we probably would have had more knowledge. And so like I've said previous before, like maybe right now your story you feel like it's not getting anywhere. Like you wrote it, there's a film, but it's not getting anywhere. But years from now, if you think about it, we're making history with whether it's a film, whether it's a book that you're writing, whether it's a social media post that you put up. You're making history. And when you're part of history, you're part of something big. And so, yeah, it's scary. But in life, you can't be always, you know, in life, you have to share. In life, you have to share. And when you share, you're helping other people grow and also helping yourself grow. So it's scary, but it's worth it.
As Rose had alluded to, Anne Frank writing. There are so many ways to share your story, and you could just write it down. Write it down, tuck it away to help you process your story. Sometimes we have to process and understand what are we feeling, what are we thinking to put it on paper prior to sharing a story. And whenever you're comfortable, what will make you most comfortable is identifying a community or individuals or group of folks who are connected to your story, and then you'll feel safer sharing your story with them. So it really depends what, and again, we are canvases with different, well, part of Art of Me, as we are all different parts of art. And as art comes, we have so many different layers, so many different colors, so many different designs, so many different parts and pieces of us. So the question also is, what part of your story would you like to share at this point of time? And who is a safe person or group of folks you can share it with? So it's just really write it down, think about it. But there are so many ways and people to share it, or it could just be written down, or using different forms of art. You could sing it. Rose, we have now. Rose didn't tell you that she actually wrote the final song in the film,
Oh, wow.
and
Oh,
she's a musician as well. So she uses music as her form of communication and sharing her story. So there's so many different ways to share your story.
Yes.
Stephanie, what are your thoughts in terms of how to expand the opportunity for storytelling, especially with younger folks?
I would say listen first. Listen to what young folks have to say and invite them to do it. I feel so many times we tell them what to do, how to do it. And yes, we need structure, but then let them use, again, their art, their creativity to share their story. One thing, so I spent a lot of time in classrooms working with teachers. That's part of the preparation period prior to the contest. And they, I mean, I'm just amazed sometimes, but I work as young as fourth grade all the way up to seniors in high school. The younger students, they have so much creativity, they have so many stories to share, they're so free. And when I go and work with the middle school and the high school age young people, I could tell that they have so many blockages.
Right.
Can I write about this? Is this okay? This is your story. Like it's so much coaching that needs to happen, and we have to get them through that hump for them to understand the value in their story. And I think society plays a role, social media plays a role. In my opinion, standardized testing plays a role because we teach them how you're either right or you're wrong. And creative writing is not in our classrooms. And from that, my opinion is it's affecting storytelling and creativity with some of our young people.